Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you don't mind. I've got an ice lolly because it feels quite hot where I am. It's a bit just feels refreshing. I like close the door and everything in here, and it just gets really, really hot in the middle of summer. Um, right. Another good day in the markets. What is this? What is this IBKR cash thing that's showing up in my book? Weird. I'll fix that. Yeah, another interesting day in the markets. Let's have a look at what is going on. I think this is going to be quite a telling day for stocks. So we had inflation, which was in line. 3.4% versus expectations of 3.4. What's going on here? Mate. What the hell is going on? Okay, fuck this. 3.4% year-on-year CPI versus expectations of 3.4. Core CPI, so that's excluding energy prices, 2.5 versus 2.5. The month-on-month number, 0.1 versus 0.1. Core month-on-month, 0.2 versus 0.2. So none of it was revised. None of the prior numbers were revised. So pretty much completely bang in line on inflation, which is good. Markets like it, I think, but I feel like I would have preferred to have seen a miss, because we're still, what was it? Last month was 3.5, right? So when we looked at that inflation chart, see if I can find that again. US PI chart. I think it was this one. Yeah, we're still sort of at this. We're off that 4% level, but we're still sort of at these elevated levels. So, for me, it's not one of those moments where it's like, oh, gung ho, risk on. I think it's a good relief rally for the market, because the way it's been trading, it probably would have been worried about a big number. But it's not like gung ho, risk on time for me. And kind of trading that way. SPX only up 0.2%, Nasdaq's only up 0.8%. So it's sort of behaving that way. Now, obviously, there's been some big moves in AI stocks, and I think two reasons for that. CoreWeave had really good numbers yesterday, and Nibius had really good numbers today as well. And this was actually already rallying on CoreWeave numbers. And also there were some positive headlines on NVIDIA committing debt funding to help capex of businesses like these, which is very positive for the equity story. So there's a few different headlines that have come out. I guess three different things: the NVIDIA headlines, good CoreWeave numbers, and then good Nibius numbers themselves, which is very positive. Plus, our good friend Michael Burry is short this thing as well. So very, very strong rally into this. I actually bought some of this yesterday. Let's see if we can bring up the trades in it. I don't know why this doesn't show all my trades. Here we go. So I bought 1,000 shares at 190. Sold them at 222. Obviously a little bit too early. Took the 30 grand profit overnight, but should have really held. It's just one of those where I've spoken a lot about not being disciplined enough in the last few weeks. Not being disciplined for the last few weeks and taking profits when I've had them. And when if I make almost 32 grand overnight, like in less than 12 hours, I should take profits, right? Like that should be, if I can just accumulate a few of those wins, then you end up having a good month. If I can I'm on my way to making a few hundred grand every month, and that's like pretty good. So that's what I should generally do, and that's what I did, and that's what I want to do more of. But I look back on this and I think it's obvious that it was going to go higher, and now it's also broken out of this level. Like this when I was getting Claude to run the numbers, it was quite to break out this 225, 226 level was quite a big thing for it, which it has done now. So I wouldn't be surprised if this keeps going higher, because it's just been a series of good headlines. Plus, there's a buyer of it because Michael Burry is short, right? And he may have to cover a short at some stage. I don't know what his leverage or liquidation price is, but that's probably what's fueling it even further. And so, I think about all that. I think, I should have just really held it for longer, but I guess you can't really think like that, can you? And yeah, I don't really want to do the thing where I wait for it to drop and then buy back, and then it just keeps going lower. I think if I was a bit more constructive on equities going into September, I would have held a lot of this stuff. I think I've foregone some gains there, but if we look at this portfolio value number, it's been a decent steady grind up, I think, over the last month from just especially in these last few days, from just capturing wins. I think I just don't need to. You win, retesting all-time highs in the portfolio numbers. So I just don't need to. I think just in times like these, I need to tell myself. Sorry, I'm almost finished with this, and then it's going to flow a lot better. But it just keeps melting on my fingers. Now my fingers are all sticky. All right. I just think if I keep doing more of this, taking the wins, taking decent sized small wins, this should go a lot higher over time with a much better Sharpe ratio than just holding on to things. You can't win them all. If you're going to take profits, you're going to sell some things too early, and that's what I've done here, and that's fine. It's going to be a good green day hopefully today, and we had a good green day yesterday. But let's see. I've been cautious on stocks, cautious on memory stocks. We are bouncing pretty strongly here, and we're going to once again retest. We're going to be retesting. Let's get the 1 day chart. This is the resistance level here. That for example, it's been around 1,000 on Micron. It's been about 1,500-ish on SanDisk. We're once again going to retest this, and I'm very interested to see what happens here. If we sell off again, if we manage to hold it, I think I've been talking about how stocks have been very much of a sell strength kind of thing for a while now, and we're again even on Nasdaq, we're back up again here. I just feel like this is not where I would be adding risk. I don't think this is a good point to add risk. I don't think this is a good point to add risk here on Micron. I don't think this is necessarily a good point to add risk here. SanDisk, I think Nibius has stronger fundamental stories to reprice, but do you want to add risk here? Probably not. Although this does look like it's broken through this level. So I'm very interested and curious to see how today ends and how the next day or two goes, because in the last 2 or 3 weeks we've just been selling off from this momentum, and they haven't really held. These gains haven't held, and I just wonder if we're going to see the same thing again, which is what I think will happen. Could be wrong, who knows? But it's not like I'm sitting here flat the whole time. I feel like the book's making money, so just got to be happy with that, I think, and pick and choose the spots. So yeah, let's see what happens. Economic data, is there anything else to come out? we have PPI, but this is PPI final demand. I think it's that important. Retail sales not important. There's not really anything for the rest of this month. I don't think. I think the next big thing is payrolls. I guess we probably have PCE one day, don't we? Just having a look up here. Yeah, so we have PCE on the 26th of August. But I think people won't really care that much about that. I think that's like whatever, really. And then the next big thing is going to be payrolls in September, which is going to be on the Friday the 4th of September. Let's see if that's correct. Because I think it's Labor Day in the US, right? Yeah, Friday the 4th. So we really don't have much data left to come for the rest of this month, other than PCE, which may not be that important. And we then go into payrolls in September. Payrolls came in hot this month, and then we're straight into the FOMC, which there'll be some concerns over. So could be an argument to say, can we grind higher for the rest of August into September, have a little bit of a summer squeeze? Could happen. I think it's more likely we just chop. I think it's more likely we chop in between then. I don't think people are going to take massive risk. I do think it feels like there are shorts in the market, and these shorts are covering. I think that's what's driving the demand for things today. I think people are short covering memory, definitely short covering Nibius and all that kind of stuff. So that I think is maybe driving some of the price action, but it feels like we're still range bound. I don't think there's enough meat on the bone for stocks to really break out in between now and September. Could be wrong again. Maybe there's lots of people who are thinking like me, and it just does happen. But the next 2 or 3 days will be very telling. If we hold all the gains today and then we're up again tomorrow, there's an argument to say you should be long because you should be long for a week or two. I would be potentially looking at that as a spot to long for a quick trade, for a few days into September if that does happen. But so far it hasn't. But let's see what happens there. Crypto, something we haven't spoken about at all in crypto, just majors like Bitcoin, ETH. I haven't even looked at it once, but I mean, this has been stuck. It's been stuck in this range since June, beginning of June. It feels like a lot longer than that, but we've really just been stuck here, and this range keeps getting tighter and tighter and tighter. I don't really know what happens for us to break out of it. Clarity Act feels like the next big fundamental thing on crypto, but I just don't know if it's bullish. It depends on what form it's signed in and whether it can be bullish or not. There's been some talk of CFTC and SEC stepping in to regulate it prematurely if in lieu of the Clarity Act being signed, which I don't know. We need to find the details to know whether that's bullish or bearish. But just stuck in this range, and it's I think it's been a good thing for on-chain activity because it means on-chain stuff has been able to rally and move because people know that Bitcoin is stable. Like when Bitcoin rips, maybe some people feel better off being in Bitcoin itself. When Bitcoin sells off, obviously everyone shits themselves. So it's created a good on-chain environment. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked at some of these coins in a while. I don't know what happens to this stuff, but hype. It's probably a good buy, isn't it? In this area. So on chain, have a quick look at this. I guess this Pons trade is still doing well. We seem to be. I think we know what our enemy is, which is this 0.04849 level. I guess we almost hit 50. We did break out over it, but that's the this is the level that keeps getting rejected so far. Here, this time here, this time here. I mean, even here, really, like we wicked above it, but we closed below it. So quite clearly, I don't know, you could basically say this is all-time highs. I mean, it's not the all-time high intraday print, but we're close to all-time highs. If we closed here, we'd be closing above where we closed yesterday and a little bit below the actual all-time high number. But it feels like we're going to keep testing this level, and then eventually, when we break out, then it's going to get quite interesting, I think. And it's what we like to call edging, I guess, isn't it? It's just this chart is edging for something big to happen. Stats are still very strong on ponds. I think we had another 100k plus revenue day yesterday, 110k revenues for protocol fees, 68% market share in fees in the last 24 hours. Big market share. 49% right now in the last 7 days, but that also includes the launch of pools. It also includes some crossover when we had that V1, V2 stuff. So, it also includes a lot of cash cap volume in the last few days. But 68% in the last 24 hours is good. Still 49% in the last 7 days, which is good. Share of launches is much smaller, but these are the coins. There's a few coins now in the Ponds ecosystem that are doing a lot of volume and generating revenues, and that's what we want to see. So numbers are still good. This is the first time I've seen this number flip green in the last week or so, the revenue momentum number. So this compares the last 7 days versus the prior 7 days. So that's positive momentum in revenue. That's been negative for a while. The inflow coverage is positive. Buyback pace is below 1 at the moment. And this seems to move quite a lot with how the buybacks are deployed. And sometimes the buyback is paused. Sometimes a large amount comes at one time, and that will affect it because this compares 24 hours versus the last 7 days. So it's not really like the best indicator, I think. This is a much better indicator because it's 7 days over 7 days, which smooths out a lot of the impact. But the numbers are heading in the right direction, in my opinion. And we're still 0.8. We've been hovering around that 0.7, 0.8 area. I think we've almost got to 0.9, 1-ish a couple of times, and that seems to be where seems to magically be where the sell pressure comes from. But still screens cheap, and 20. I think we're over 20. Yeah, 27.1, almost 27.2% of supply burnt now. It's a lot. When we started speaking about this, it was 20, I think. It just hit 20. It was 19 or 20. And now it's 27. They're burning like 1% a week, it feels like, which is, it's going to get to a point where if these revenues persist, it cannot stay at this market cap, right? It's just gonna have to start going a lot higher as tokens get burnt. So remember, these aren't just buybacks, right? These are actually getting burned. These coins are going away. So yeah, all looks strong to me. And I think we just sit in patience really and see what happens. There's been a few different movers actually. Let's bring up Gecko Terminal. I'm not really looking at anything else outside of Robinhood, by the way. Maybe a little bit outside of Robinhood, but so let's see, Robinhood. So cash cap has sort of been chilling at these levels. I still don't know what this Dogo coin is. Stockbroker also sort of chilling. It's down a little bit, I guess, today. I don't think the Launchpad launch was delayed. I think they've are launching some special projects on it, I guess. I didn't quite gather what was going on there. I mean, I thought the Launchpad was coming last week or at least early this week, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the exact story on that. Launches, man. we hate launches. I feel bad having done launches myself. I feel bad for teams doing it because it's just so tough, and you want to make sure everything's right. I actually think delaying launches is better than just launching something that breaks. I think you're much better off delaying it and making sure it all works well. But Pipe Dog just came back out of nowhere. See, I just think Pons should be a lot higher on this list. I think it should be much higher on this list. Mkts been doing well. Wow, is that $20 million? Fucking hell. Me and Tabs and I really dropped the ball on this. It was literally like here. And Tabs was like, I think there's something going on with this because if you try and buy $1,000, there's loads of slippage. And I should have just bought some, but fuck, that's a big move. It's funny, you know, because this is what, $20 million, and we were like, wow, what a big move. This is massive. Like, you know, this would be 200 back in, you know, in a bull market, in a full bull market, 200 plus. But yeah, I think people have, this is a Pons coin, by the way, so good. Again, $2.7 million in volume. It's good for us. It's good for the Pons gang. But some of these memes are up quite a bit, you know. I don't know what Wancat is, but hang on, I'm in weird territory here. Here we go. Yeah, this is at 9. Tendies is down a bit, I guess. I guess probably people have swapped from Tendies to Himcat. It just shows you how much rotational capital there is there. Yeah, a few interesting things. Index has been a bit more quiet. Oh, how's this up token doing? So this is down now. This is down. Whoa, that's quite a big drop. I'm surprised it went all the way there. Wow. I think it's still above where I tried to buy it. I tried to buy it when it was like around here. But well, that's interesting. Yeah, I think I still think all these numbers are really low. I think we'll see higher numbers. Whether it's the same coins that are at higher numbers, I don't know. But this screenshot, this page is going to look very different in a few months' time. That's my belief. What else did we talk about today? I'm just in the Discord and I can see someone's made a gif of me sucking on a lollipop. I should have. Well, I knew that something like that would happen. I don't really know what else to talk about today. I think that's kind of it. I feel like I'm in just a bit of a hold. We had a nice quick win on Nibius. Take the money, chill, hold, don't keep. I think one of the biggest mistakes I make and lots of people make is you get a win and you think, fuck, I'm on a roll. Let me hit the next one. Then you lose it again. You know, just take the win. Yeah, just take the win and chill. Let's see. I bought a couple of other things in like the DGen portfolio. I guess we can talk about that. So what do we have in the DGen portfolio? We still have Boss Cat. I don't know. I mean, wow, but back up to here. I don't know what to really do with it. I can't really sell it, can I? Because I bought it so cheap. I can't. You know, it's a bit of a dick move for me to sell this. I don't really know what to do with this. If you have any ideas, Boss Cat, let me know. But I'm just sitting on this, I guess. Thought this coin was interesting. You know, I sold the Chowder because it nuked yesterday, and I guess I lost 80% on it, and I was trying to salvage that $1.5 grand I had left. The other reason is because, you know, it wasn't a big position, so it's fine. But I guess the success of Uniswap pools was quite important to this being successful, that narrative, and it wasn't. I wonder where is that From coin now? I think that From coin just got decimated, right? Where does this trade? 4.26 million market cap. That's not as low as I thought it would be, but yeah, that's a rough move lower. Wow, did that hit? That hit 17 mil. Didn't you top tick that at 16 mil tabs? Or 15 mil? I guess from there to down there is a pretty rough move. What does this say? Verified in Gecko Terminal. So yeah, if this is trading at 4, it's hard for the other coin to trade here, and I just sold it. Mainly so I don't have to look at it anymore. Tab says he made money on Frong. Yeah, I think these two things are... So these are the things, I guess, not on Robinhood that I own. IMD we've spoken about a little bit. This thing, I read a post that Bosscat put out. Interesting theory, but again, I just put in 1.5k. But I don't mind if anyone has any of these other ideas of like kind of like 1 to 5 mil, let's say 1 to 2 mil market cap coins where there's an interesting story or thesis behind it. That's the kind of stuff that I'm interested. I don't mind building up a portfolio of like 25 grand across a few of those, because I do think some of these things will run. I think this is just the age of experimentation and the, interesting like FWA had a really interesting story about it. Like stockbrokers is really interesting. Like all these things which aren't just coins, they all have all these different facets to them. I think stuff like that is really interesting. And they often are mispriced or underpriced for a long time until something happens and everyone FOMOs in, right? So you want to get into them early, but it's, you can't go in with big size. That's why you have to keep the sizes small, like I have. Basically. What else? I put out probably can't get on X now, can I? Yeah, it doesn't work. Does anyone else have this problem on X where you try and log on and you just get this? I can't, and it's specific to this account. So if I try it from a different browser, I also still can't get onto it. I don't know how to fix this, and it's really frustrating. Like if I now can't browse through tweets and show you guys. But I wanted to pull up the tweet. Let me see. Is there a way I can do it? No. I'll just put up a little teaser tweet I put out today. But yeah, we're working on some stuff. I think you can do some cool things on chain and stuff that people can make money on, stuff that people find fun to get involved with. I think it's all out there and doing it, and people doing it, whether it's NFTs, coins, etc., etc. We obviously have Rekt, and I want to continue to create demand for it, create token sinks for it. That reminds me, I need to check if we've got the buyback funds ready today. So yeah, we have a couple of interesting ideas. One that we've been brainstorming some ideas over the last few days, and I think we've come to one which we quite like that I've been building. Why can I not withdraw from WAP? Oh, I can now. Okay, nice. So yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned for what we have. Coming up. Over the next few weeks on the Rekt side of things. Oh fuck, we've got Wiz here. How do you live by yourself knowing how much worse than me at golf you are, given you played all your life and I started 6 months ago? First of all, I haven't played all my life. I've only played golf for about 4 years. Second of all, you have not only played for 6 months, you've played for at least 2 years. Third of all, I only have time to play maybe once a week. I haven't played for about 2 or 3 months. You play golf, I think at least 5 or 6 times a week. If I played golf 5 or 6 times a week for 2 years like you, I'd probably be off single figures handicap, probably even lower, right? So I think you're off, 23, 24, and you've played 6 times a week for 2 years. Like, that is shit. I don't want to be mean. I'm not saying it's shit, but it's just like, it's maybe people plateau. maybe you plateaued there. But what I say to you, Wiz, is if you really think you're good at golf, let's just fucking do. You're putting me off on this. Let's just fucking do one-on-one golf. We put some money on it. Let's stream it properly, the entire match. Real rules, right? Like, no, like, oh, I hit it out of bounds, I'm just going to drop from there. Like, actual golf rules. Let's do handicaps. If you want to do handicaps, I'll still beat you. And let's actually do it. I'm not having this, like, fucking turning up to my stream and calling me out and shit. Let's actually do it. Yeah, Singapore. Let's do it. Token Singapore. We'll go and do it at Sentosa. Let's actually stream the whole thing. Tab said this is like KSI versus Logan Paul Boomer style. Yeah, you can add like Boomer Indian style to that maybe. This is like the really shit budget version of Logan Paul versus KSI. But let's actually do a proper golf match, and put some money behind it. If people want to gamble on it, they can gamble. But let's actually do it. I don't want to do this fucking shit chat online anymore. You know what I mean? Okay, agreed. The record shows you've agreed. Is Tabs racist? Cannot comment. Rekt Billions, I agree with you on that. Okay, let's do it. I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up in the DMs. Wow, Tabs, what do you mean you can't say that? You say it to me all the time behind the scenes. All right, locked in, done. Me versus Wiz, 1-on-1 match play. I think that's worse for me, but we'll do proper match play. Done. What's with the I don't know what's with the jizz emojis, but okay. I don't have anything else to add to the stream for me, but I feel a bit riled up on. Oh, you know what? Good old Tom's got some questions. Tom, caddies allowed? Yeah, let's get caddies. Loser goes bald. Dude, Jason's probably going to want to play golf. I don't think he's going to caddy. So, I'm going to just answer some questions. Tom asks, do you think dip buy stops as a strategy at some point? For instance, when fiat is replaced for a harder monetary standard, if fiat gets replaced by a harder monetary standard. No, I mean, like, buying the dip will always be a strategy. It has been a strategy, I think, for over a century, and I think it always will be. What you denominate in is a different question. Do you denominate yourself in dollars? Do you denominate yourself in Bitcoin? Do you denominate yourself in something else? That's a different question, I think. But you should probably denominate yourself in terms of the currency of where you live that allows you to live. But I don't think buying the dip will ever not be a strategy for me, and I don't think it will ever not generally be a strategy. But it's different, like, if you've made a lot of money, you can buy a dip and just be patient and then eventually make it back over time, right? But if you are trying to make a lot of money in a short space of time, you can buy a dip and then it can go lower, and then it can not move for 2 months or 3 months or 6 months, and then you're fucked. So I think it depends. It depends what you're trying to do. But I've made most of my money buying dips. I'm not a momentum trader. I've never really made that much money top blasting, or I've actually always lost money top blasting, and I'm not good at identifying breakouts and momentum. My thing's always been like buy the dip, buy things that I think are undervalued, be patient, and then it comes back, and then I monetize into the other guys who are chasing the momentum, or the other guys who are top blasting. I think it feels like to me that's a much higher probability way to make money, but you may not make the highest amount of money in that time frame. It may take a long time to do it. You have to be very patient, so it's not a strategy that works for everyone. But I think in trading, you just have to. There's multiple ways to make money in trading. You just have to find out what works for you, and you have to not let the way other people make money impact you just because you're upset that it hasn't gone well for you, or you're trying to chase it or whatever. You know, like chasing losses are bad, but chasing wins are, can be even more dangerous, I think. So I think buying the dip will be a strategy forever, like until the end of time. It's just how much dip can you buy, and how long can you hold it for. Got a Rekt Mkts from your golfing knowledge. I'll need that. The thing I'm worried about for the golf is, what's your handicap, Wiz? 22, 23? And I'm off 12, but I also, which is the lowest I've ever been, but I haven't played for about 2 months. So you're gonna have 10 strokes on me, at least, depending on the course handicap. Although if we're doing match play, it's just going to be per hole. So there will be, let's Claude this, actually. Let's whack this into Claude. I mean, I was going to end this anyway, so if you don't care about golf, then feel free to tune out. But let me... if I play at Sentosa Golf Course on the... and my handicap is 12.5 and Wiz is 22. How many strokes? But we're doing match play. Think about how many strokes he has on me. Let's see what this says. I might be up against it here. Like I would have to be... I guess it's not how many strokes he has on me, is it? It's how many holes he gets a stroke. It's not really about how many strokes he has on me. It's about how many holes he gets strokes and how many strokes if it's match play. So he would have 12 strokes on me. Which means he's going to get 1 stroke on me on each of the 12 holes with... Okay. It's not too bad. So 12 hardest holes, he's going to have 1 stroke on me. The 6 easiest holes, we're going to be straight up. That's very doable. He never gets 2 strokes on any hole, which is the key. That's the key thing. That's doable. I'll win that for sure. All right. Well, let's call it a day on the stream. Interestingly, stocks are indeed pulling back a bit. Actually, let's have a look. I'm not playing about that. A small pullback on Nasdaq. This AI stuff is still ripping, still at the day's highs, really. That Shaz token's really bounced back, huh? I guess near clouds, right? So yeah, let's see how the day ends. It's very strong right now. Curious to see what happens at the end of the day and the next couple of days. That's what I think that will be very telling. Can you narrate? We do need a commentator. Carpets has been a great commentator in the past, so I think if you guys can, if you guys are keen for that, if you're keen for it, Carpets, although it's going to be a rough time for you in the UK, because I think it's Singapore's 8 or 9 hours ahead, so depending on what tea time we have, it might be a bit of a rough one, but we'll see. But we should have some. We should definitely have some commentary on it. We'll look into it and get a proper camera crew and broadcast it and stream the whole thing. Will be a bit of fun. Anyway, I'm gonna call it there. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Today's Wednesday. Don't know why I said that, but it is, and tomorrow's Thursday, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Good luck. Stay safe. Above all, stay disciplined. See you guys tomorrow.